Right, here are the answers for Module 8 review. And we're going to start with the first question. It says, what are the zeros of this equation? So to get the zeros, we basically need to set it equal to 0. And then we're going to need to separately set each one of these factors equal to 0. So we have 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Or we have x minus 5 equal to 0. And therefore, taking opposite, we're going to subtract 3. So we have 2x equals negative 3. And then finally, divide by 2, we have negative 3 over 2. And then the other answer is adding 5 to both sides. So we have x equal to 5. So the two solutions are negative 2 and 5. And the answer is A. Question 2, what is the correct factorization? And so we need to realize that these two factors look the same, so we can apply the GCF property and factor out the common factor of x minus 2, leaving us 6 inside the parentheses plus y. And that would be the complete factorization, and looks like choice B is the correct answer. Number 3, what is the correct factorization of this expression? So again, we're going to apply the factoring method. We're going to factor both of them. You get x and x. That is how you will get x squared. And then I need two numbers that multiply to get 8 and add up to get 4. That would be, add up to get 6. And that would be 2 and 4. And the signs are going to be the same, and they're both positive. So same and both positive. So we got plus and a plus. And the numbers are 2 and 4 because 2 plus 4 is 6 and 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is C. Next, question number 4, factor and solve. So we need to factor this once again. The last sign is negative. That means the signs are going to be different in the middle. And then we have x and x, that will get us x squared. And then negative is going to be, it means that we need two numbers that multiply to get 30. And the difference is 7, and the bigger one should be a negative number. So looks like 10 and 3. 10 times 3 is 30, and 10 minus 3 is 7. And we want negative 10 and positive 3 because we want to get negative 7 as the middle term. So therefore, those are the factors. And then we're going to solve it for 0. So taking opposite, we have x equals negative 3 and 10. And looks like B is the answer. Number 5, what are the solutions of this equation? So we are going to start again by factoring. And the signs, again, the last sign is negative, means the signs are different. And we have x and x, that will give us x squared. Two numbers that multiply to get 6, and the difference is 1 in the middle are 2 and 3. And we want negative 1, so 3 will be bigger. And so that will be negative, and then 2. And this is the factoring. So taking opposites, we will have the zeros are negative 2 and 3, and that looks like answer choice B. Number 6, what is the correct factorization? We do have a number in front of the x squared, so we need to use the crisscross spider method. So I would use 3x and x. And then I'm going to need to split up 8. So two numbers that multiply get 8. We can try 4 and 2 and see if that works out. That looks like 6x and 4x. That's not going to work out because we will only get 10. So let's try 2 and 4. Cross multiplying, we will have 2x plus 12x. That will give us 14x, and that checks out to be the middle term. So we know that the factorization will be 3x plus 2 times x plus 4. And so that looks like it is answer choice B. Number 7, what are the solutions? And once again, we need to start by dividing a common factor. The GCF is 2. So let's divide, and we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. That will make the problem smaller. And now I can split it up into, factor it into two parentheses, x and x. The signs will be different. The only one way to factor out 3 is 1 and 3, and we want 3 to be positive and 1 is negative because 3 minus 1 equals 2. And so taking opposites, we have x equals negative 3 and 1. And that is answer choice A. Number 8. What are the factors? Again, we have a number in front of the x squared term, so we need to use the crisscross spider method. 5x and x, 3 and 1, that's the only way we will get. So let's try 1 and 3, cross multiplying. The bigger number when we multiply is this combo right here. So that is going to give me a negative, so I need a negative right here. So let's go ahead and make that negative. Cross multiplying, I have negative 15x plus x, that gives us negative 14x, and it checks out to be the middle term. So the factorization will be 5x plus 1 and x minus 3, and that looks like it is answer choice B for number 8. Number 9, what method could be used for factoring? This right here, and this looks like it's a difference of square. So that's a choice, answer choice C. And the way that you factor is x plus 5 and x minus 5. Number 10, which of the following polynomial is a difference of square? So the only one that would fit under that category is B, because that's a perfect square. That is 4x squared, and then 1 is just 1 squared. So that's the answer. Number 11, which of the following polynomial is a perfect square? So we are looking for something that is perfect square, and it should be 3 terms. So far, these are all perfect squares, but this one does not qualify because it only has 2 terms. That's going to be a difference of square, not a perfect square. So the one that's also, so we can double check, this is going to be a perfect square of 8. So if we actually work it out, it should be x minus 8 squared, plus 8 actually for this one. But if you FOIL it out, you should have x squared plus 8 plus 8, so it will be plus 16x and then plus 64. But that does not look like this because the last sign is negative, not positive, so that is out. So that only leaves us the last answer choice, C, and we can double check that. That's 2x plus 6 squared. So let's double check. That's 12 plus 12, which is 24, and that's a plus 36, so that checks out. So the correct answer is C. Number 12, what is the complete factorization? So this is look like it's a difference of square again. So it is 5x plus 6 becomes 5x minus 6, and that is the complete factorization, and that looks like answer choice C. Moving on to the back side, find the solutions, and this one is already factored, so we again need to just set them individually equal to 0. We're going to have x, actually let's work this out. 12 minus x equal to 0, so we have minus 12, and we have negative x equals negative 12, and therefore dividing by negative 1, I'll just have x equals 12. This one, we're going to have negative 4 divided by 3 as the solution. So the two answers are negative 12 and negative 4 over 3. Number 14. Factor each of the following polynomial. If the polynomial cannot be factored, write not factorable. So we can try factoring these two. So we got x and x. Two numbers that multiply to get 8 and add up to get 6 are 2 and 4. So it will be x plus 4 and x plus 2. And then this one right here, the letters are not even matching, so we really cannot factor this. So it's not factorable. Okay. And the last one here, we can try factoring using crisscross spider method because it has a number in front of the x squared. So 5y and y, 1 and 1. Let's cross multiply and see if it works out. We got 5y plus y, which gives us 6y, and that checks out to be the middle term. So we have 5y. Tell me tomorrow.
All right. Because for the quizzes.
I'm recording. So text me, okay? So we have 5x plus 1, 5x plus 1, and therefore we have the complete factorization is right here, and we can also actually rewrite that as a 5y plus 1 squared. And there is the complete factorization. Number 15. Write the polynomial modeled by this geometric diagram. So we got x squared here, and then plus 10 and 2 makes and then plus 20 at the end. So this would be the factor, the expression. And then they want you to factor the polynomial. So to factor this, you can actually see that on top here, it is x plus 10. And then over here is actually x plus 2. So that is how you can factor it. And next one, number 16, factoring here. Again, I'm going to have two parentheses. This one, last sign says the signs are different. We have x and x, two numbers that multiply to get 21, and the difference is 4, is going to be 7 and 3. And we need the 7 to be bigger, so we will have a positive 4x. And so therefore, that is the final factorization. And for this one, we're going to use the crisscross spider method. And we have 3x and x, and then it's either 2, 1 or 1, 2. So let's try 1, 2. Cross multiplying, we got 6x plus x. That gives us 7x, the middle term that we want. So this is actually the correct factorization. It's actually plus 1. So 3x plus 1 and x plus 2 is the final factorization. Number 18, determine whether each value makes C factorable. If so, factor the polynomial. So the first one says basically replace the last term with 10. So to factor that, we can try x and x. The signs are the same. They are both negative. Do we have two numbers that multiply to get 10 and add up to get negative 3? I don't think so. So therefore, the answer is actually this is not factorable for this one, for A. And then the next one is x squared minus 3x minus 10. We make the last term negative. So let's try factoring again. The signs are different this time. And we need two numbers that multiply to get 10, and the difference is 3. So we actually have 5 and 2. And we want negative 3, so we want 5 to be negative and 2 to be positive. So that is how you can get that. So this is the complete factorization, and it is factorable. Number 19, the product of two consecutive positive integers is equal to 6 more than 6 times the sum of the numbers. So the equation is already written here, which simplifies to this right here. So factor the equation and find the possible values of x. And so we have number 19. If we factor these two, let's turn it into a factor. So x and x, the signs are different, and the bigger one, two numbers that multiply to get 12, and the difference is 11, are 12 and 1, because we want negative 11. So if we solve this, we're going to have x equals negative 1 and 12. So those are the two zeros. So since the question says the two consecutive positive, they are positive. So the only number that we could take is 12, because 1 is negative. So the answers would be 12 and 13, because they are consecutive. They are next to each other, okay? And therefore, those are the two integers that will add up to multiply to meet the criteria of this equation right here. Number 20, solving. We're going to have to move the 9 over to the other side first. So we got x squared plus 8x minus 9 equal to 0. So let's factor this. And we're going to have x and x. The signs are different. Two numbers that multiply to get 9, and the difference is a, are 9 and 1. So solving it, we have x equals negative 9 and 1. Number 21, we need to factor. So we're going to move the 9 over, and we have 2x squared minus 17x minus 9 equal to 0. And to finish factoring, we're going to use the crisscross spider method, 2x and x. Let's try 1 and 9. And we make a 9 negative because we need a negative 17. So cross multiplying, we have negative 18x plus x, which gives us negative 17. And that checks out to be the middle term. So the factorization is 2x plus 1 and x minus 9. So if we solve them for 0, we will have x equals negative 1/2 from this right here, and then x equals 9. And then number 22, this is a difference of square. So we have 2x plus 4 and 2x minus 4. Solving this will give us the answer of x equals negative 2 and 2. And the last question is solving it. Again, we can factor it into x and x. The signs are same, they are both negative, and our two numbers that multiply to get 100 and add up to get 20 is 10 and 10. And so solving it, we will only have one solution, so x equals 10 is the final answer. And that is the review, the entire review for Module 8. Please study each question and look over each question again, the video, for whatever question you need more help with. Have a nice day.